an innovation fellow at the Medical Devices Center, and we are Brilliance. We're lighting the way to concussion recovery. There are over 3.6 million concussions annually in the United States, which are served by poorly existing suboptimal therapies, including physical therapy, medications for symptom relief, and brain rest. But compliance is difficult with these, especially when you're told you can't watch television or play on your smartphone. Concussions are the result of the impact that the brain has against the skull after the trauma. This need is a huge need. It's felt by clinicians and parents, rehab specialists everywhere, especially through some rehab specialists who are interested in participating in clinical trials with our device. At $800, a cost based on system savings, and a total market of 860,000 patients who see concussion specialists, we have a market size of about $700 million. So our device will not only improve healing and function, it'll also save society money. Light therapy has been demonstrated in mice and human studies to improve concussion recovery. You can see the damage to the brain significantly improves after this therapy, and cognitive function and thinking is improved in humans as well. Our device will be prescribed to patients who will then rent it and wear it in the comfort of their own home. They'll wear it for about 30 minutes a day, a couple times a week. LEDs will deliver low-level near-infrared light across the entire brain. It'll improve healing and function. And our team is composed of myself with a background in apparel and wearables, Doug Devins with over 15 years of medical device experience, and Kevin Goodwin, our medical expert. Thank you.
All right, that might be easier.
Who's your call point?
So our call point are the trauma clinics, but specifically the concussion clinics that now exist nationwide. So within this area, Regions, the U, as well as TRIA Health Sports, each have those clinics. So that'd be the entry point, which is why the market's smaller. We're more targeting the ones that go there.
One real quick follow-up. So for trial purposes, is there a biomarker-based endpoint for this, or are you doing it purely on outcomes?
So it's going to be, right now, the clinical assessment tools, questionnaires, are kind of the standard for how you decide if someone has a concussion and how will they recover. A biomarker was just released actually February and April and confirmed by the FDA, but it's really not standard of care yet, so we're not really going to be using that yet to be qualifying.
How much are you going to need, and how long will it take before you can actually get a product to market?
We've projected, we've projected that it would cost approximately $500,000 to get through the first human feasibility trial. That goes through prototypes, clinical builds, and then the actual IRB expenses, and then the clinical trial itself, about an N of 20, sham and treatment group.
I might have missed this, but is there any IP filed on any of this yet?
There is. We've actually filed on the specifics, if we go back to that helmet. One of the specifics of concussion therapy is the homogeneity around the entire circumference of the skull. Also, we are taking into account hair, because of course that can scatter the waves, and we're taking into account irregularities on the skull through a special fitting. It's not customized, but there's a way to make it so that it fits anybody's head. And finally, a way to account for the scattering regions in your skull, like your sinuses, your mastoid processes, etc. So we've really made it to be easy to use and get a uniform treatment around the head.
You stated that you should wear this a couple times a day for 30 minutes. What happens if the patient decides to wear it more than that, or are there any other side effects that would be detrimental to the patient?
So right now, our current plan is to have kind of a kill switch after a certain number of treatments so that they reach just the prescribed number of treatments. And this type of light therapy has been used for hair growth, wound repair, and there really hasn't been any side effects other than maybe some tingling on the skin or a little bit of redness on the skin. But there's really been no systemic side effects noted yet.
Is there any mechanism or technology in the device that you can track the recovery and collect that data?
So currently, the number one way that people track kind of recovery from concussions is called an impact score. It's basically a computer program that they do in high schools for anyone in contact sports. So that way they're able to kind of track if a kid actually recovers before letting them play again. And that would be one of the components that we would try and do in our study.
And in the data you've collected, are outcomes, do people recover better or quicker?
So the ones in mice have shown that it's actually quicker. It's about 20 days quicker when they're doing those, and that's kind of like the gold standard for concussion. For humans, so far it's really case reports on just the quality of recovery is better as opposed to speed.